I've been here over a little bit of a year.
She now calls Colorado home with her kids.
They're my strength.
A safe place to be for the first time in her life.
I was struggling, like I was in the streets and stuff, and I was in a shelter. That was my first time being in a domestic violence shelter. I was doing good, like I was going to school, counseling, you know, everything, like working on myself.
She was on the right track until she met a man in her early 20s.
A friend introduced me to him, you know.
For this woman and her kids, he offered her a way out of the shelter.
So right away, he's like, oh, I'll get you out of there. You know, he got us a house, you know, a car. And like, to me, that was like, wow, like, you know, wow, finally, you know.
It wasn't the freedom she hoped for. Her way out came with isolation.
Once I moved out with him, we moved in with him, I wasn't allowed to go to school no more. I wasn't allowed to talk to anybody. I wasn't allowed, like, to work on myself, like, continue, like, with the counseling and stuff. Yeah, no, I had to be a wife, like a housewife, you know, which was okay, but, like, all my attention had to be to him. Like, he was just jealous. I did see some red flags, but at that point, I was so excited. Like, I had a house.
You had the things that you had always hoped for.
Wanted.
And the price only got higher.
He would drink. He was an alcoholic.
From alcoholism to abuse.
Well, the insults and abusive, and his kids started seeing it, and he would kick me out of the house with the kids. And I would end up going back to him because he was a provider, so it was totally different. Like, why am I here in the shelter when I have my house, or, you know?
She thought things would change. Instead, they escalated even more.
He would drag me, pull my hair, and he would always tell me, like, where are you gonna go? Like, nobody wants you, you know? And I'd be like, yeah, you're right. You know, like, where am I gonna go? So I put up with it.
She made the decision to leave, for good this time, after her kids spoke up.
They're like, Mom, you can't lie to us no more, you know, like, and I'm like, I'm sorry, like, I promise you guys, like, we're gonna leave, you know. So I ended up leaving. I went back to the shelter. I was doing really good. I started working, you know, and got my a vehicle. I was doing good. Things were looking better.
She got support from family for a little while. Then she met someone else.
I think he took advantage. She saw how weak I was. Like, yeah, I ran to the wrong person, to an abuser, you know, like they prey on the weak, and I was at my weakest, you know, and yeah, I was on drugs, and I saw the red flags with him right away because of my ex, you know, like I saw the controlling, the everything right away. I tried to, like, leave him, right? I was like, you know, after, like, it wasn't even not even a week.
She ignored his calls. His red flags became threats.
You feared for your life when you were with him.
Yeah, and everybody's life, because everybody's life was in danger.
And he had a gun every time. It was almost like a toy for him.
Oh yeah, and I think that was like his thrill, or like me begging, like, for my life, crying, and no. So
it came to an end once police got involved.
So finally, he ended up getting arrested, and that was just like I could breathe, like, oh my God.
Room to breathe and create a new life for her family here in Colorado.
Me last year, I wouldn't picture myself here. And now we're like just me and my kids, you know. I don't talk to no men, I don't make friends, you know. I'm just like healing, trying to heal.
A safe place to heal after living most of her life in fear.
You know, there is help out there. There is hope. I just hope, like, I get to give someone the courage, you know, and the strength they need, so they don't have to go through all that I went through, you know. Like, they could, you know, save themselves from that. Like, you know, I had to learn the hard way, and, you know, I hope, like, I don't wish nobody to go through that. Maybe I got away, but maybe the next girl won't get away.
She told Darius she believes the system failed her. Her last abuser, who was always armed, was arrested and charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, evading arrest and retaliation.
When she refused to return to her home state to testify against him, those charges were dropped. He is now on parole review, and she fears the person she calls a monster could be back on the streets, maybe try to find her or victimize someone else. We'll be right back.